Welcome to the Friday Night Pro League Sunday edition. It's playoffs time, and on your right is John Zappi, and on your left, Ed Woodside. This is Union Street Lanes versus Central Park. Late team number one. And Zappi gets the spare to begin. Woodside's bid goes wide right, and he's got the 1-7 to look at for the third ball. 8 to begin. Zappi's spare fill gets a piece of the head pin, and it's strike on spare. Woodside washes out 6. 4 horsemen left side. This is 3 strings, total pinfall. No points anymore. This is playoffs time. As we try to whittle down a field of 8. Woodside collects the 10, and that brings up Gacharna and Harris. Harris got the head pin, and he's got a strike of his own. Lou's got a good mix on the head pin. He's looking at the 6. Piece of wood in front. I'm not entirely sure if it's touching. And Gacharna begins with a spare of his own to match the mark by Harris.
All right, Lou, here we go.
To your left, we see Riverwalk Lanes and Sunnyside 2. Harris has a fill of 4. Gacharna's fill is 6, and he's got the 4 horsemen to look at. A good second ball from Harris. Gacharna pinning well likewise, but both bowlers are open. Nine versus 8, Gacharna picks up a pin, and now Dan the Man Chouinard and Craig, Hall of Famer, Holbrook. Central Park Lanes wearing the black and red shirts, Union Street Lanes in their navy polo shirts. Holbrook begins on the head pin. Just a skosh full. 3-1 split. Chouinard half Worcester. Holbrook finds the pocket, and he makes the split. Chouinard needs an out. 4 down, 6 to go. This is 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10. Catches a piece of the pin and gets some action, and it's 6. Holbrook threw that ball in the wrong channel trying to clear the wood. Again, my name is Greg Gouillart. It's a pleasure to have you here on Spread Eagle Productions here on YouTube. Holbrook spare fill. Hits the 3-pin. Mixing still, and he's got 7 on the fill. Two, 6, 7 for Holbrook. He scoots over to the left. That piece of wood is pesky, and unfortunately Holbrook, he did get 1 pin at least. So 8 for Holbrook and 9 for Chouinard. And Stephen Renaud Jr. and John Winchell, the 2 bowlers up now. Union Street Lane's off to a good start, about 3 marks ahead, one would say, and Zappi's got that strike on spare working. Winchell's try, got the head pin, and he's picking up where his teammates left off. He's got wood in front of the 610. Renaud Jr., not a bad mix of his own, but trickier wood for 8. It's not quite in the area he'd like it to be. Winchell collects the wood too far on the left side, and the 6-pin stands. Renaud gave it a good ride, but the 8-pin stands for him, and it's 9 or 10 for both bowlers. 10 versus 9. Winchell picks his pin. Small 1-pin advantages for the past few blocks. Remember, 3 strings total pinfall, so those pins could add up down the line. Winchell, 2-1 split. Renaud, that's 4 horsemen in the 9 pin. There's a little sleeper pin hiding behind the 4, visible to us from here. On the 2-1 split, Winchell hits the 4-pin. Renaud narrowly misses the head pin.
That's the thing. That's what
Winchell nearly got 10 out of that. That was a heck of a sidewalk arrow. Renaud does get his 10 and picks up another pin.
Thanks, Joe.
Yeah, well, someone told me about it.
Oh, cool.
To match, so 9 and 10 for each bowler. Maintaining Union Street Lanes' 19-pin advantage. And now the anchor bowlers, Mark Smith and Bob Whitcomb. Other matches in progress, we see Riverwalk versus Sunnyside 2, that's camera left. We also have 1-seeded Woburn against Central Park 3, 1 versus 8. And Academy 2 and Academy 3 out of Haverhill. Academy 2 is seed 2. Whitcomb's got 3 pins to look at, 1, 3, 6. Got in the pocket, yes. Spare to begin. Smith gave it a good ride, but he didn't get it to go. Lands in the channel, and that's a 9.
Steve, how's your father doing?
Good.
Doing good?
And Whitcomb a chance now to extend the advantage, but we've got a long way to go.
Really, yeah. I like it.
Likes it.
Yeah, really?
In this first of 3 strings.
He likes working all the older people. He does senior league, and
Oh,
he's
really,
making
yeah?
friends with all the seniors.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's why we were all getting up here now. They all love it.
Right?
Oh, that's good.
Bob found the head pin. He's a bit full on it,
I'll see him this week.
but he does break it up, and he gets a 7 fill out of it. Smith takes out the right side. And there you see the fill on your screen. 27 pins ahead for Union Street. Scooted over to the corner. Smith's try at 6 pins, got the head pin, it's mixing. 7-pin wobbling, but not dropping. Whitcomb collects his 10. Smith does likewise. And you see where we stand after the first salvo. With the strike still working for Union Street Lanes, already 27 pins, about 4.5 marks, more so 6 at this point. And one more disclaimer, the scores on your screen are not official. I will do my best to confer with the bowlers, but I'll probably have the chance to do it after every string. It is playoffs time, and they deserve every bit of focus they can get. Woodside again. Ooh, a good pocket hit, but he's ended up with the 5, 9, and 10, and tricky wood to deal with. Zappi does break it up at Chris Harris is urging, and he does get the 4 horsemen right side. And a right-hand diagonal made up of the 1, 3, 6, and 10. Woodside got the wood, and not the 9-pin. Fill was premature, excuse me. Zappi ends up with a 6 fill. And Zappi collects 2 more, and his 6 fill and 8 box brings him up to 44 through 3.
Come on, Johnny, get on one.
Woodside's got the head pin this time. He's got the 3, 6, and 10, and Wood seems to be angled pretty well. Excuse me, that's 6, 9, 10. Point still stands, though. The Wood seems to be bridging it just nicely. Zappi's got 3, 4, 6, 7, 9, 10. Woodside covers, and he gets his first mark. Zappi's got a tricky out coming up. He's still got a 3 and 2 split. But if he can manage this, 3 pins slicing left, it could hit the wood. He's got there, and he just short pins the wood. 8 boxes, not bad at all. And he's got 52 through 4. Neglected to mention one thing, the bowlers do switch sides every 2 boxes, so now, despite the scoreboard may lead you to believe, Gacharna's on your right side for Central Park Lanes, demolishing the head pin pocket and leaving a 5-7. That's a huge hit! Chris Harris somehow avoids hitting the 10 pin, despite a thunderous pocket shot. Harris grabs his mark against the open box. Nine for Gacharna. Bit of a delay. Chris Harris' 7-pin dropped too soon as the rack reset, so he'll hit the button, and we'll have a bit of a delay here. While that happens, I'll look at some statistics here. All season long, Gacharna has been averaging 110. He's got the 3-pin. Half Worcester, in fact. Chris Harris averaging 118. On a spare fill, he's got 5. Got a piece of the head pin and too thin. Gacharna needs an out against the half Worcester. That's a good second ball by Harris, and it's back-to-back spares. And already on pace for 120. Gacharna's got a good pocket shot and gets a massive out, turning 2 into 9. So a good third ball to keep him on course. The advantage continuing to grow, meanwhile, for Union Street Lanes. In the early going. Chouinard starts on the 3-pin. I think he got all the sleeper pins back there. 4 horsemen left and the 10-pin. Holbrook throws a spectacular mixing ball, and wood that may be perilous next to the 10. We'll see. Looks like the wood's going to scoot out of the way. He has to wait for it to settle. That's why he's taking his time on this shot. Actually, there's dead wood out there as well, so when they get a chance, after Riopel throws his shot for Riverwalk on the lane adjoining, Steven will go out there and grab that wood because it is forward of that line, just in front of the pin deck, removing it from play. And a spare. Holbrook gets a spare. And Chouinard a 9. Chance to further grow the advantage. Again, thank you to everyone watching here on our YouTube channel, Spread Eagle Productions. My name is Greg Gouillart, and it's a pleasure to be joining you from Union Street Lanes in, this is just coincidence, Holbrook, Massachusetts. If you like what you're watching, we appreciate your support just by watching. If you can, please hit the thumbs up button and give the video a like. That's the greatest way to tell YouTube that people love Candlepin and love bowling. And of course, if you want to see more great bowling like this, make sure to hit subscribe and hit the notification bell to be in the know about all our videos and all the big shots like that 9-fill by Craig Holbrook. Chouinard gets his mark and he's on the board. Chance for another. He's got it. So Zappi and Holbrook both. Holbrook with a chance to possibly go 120 already if he could get a good fill here. Renaud crushed the head pin. Where did all the pins go? They vanished in a hurry.
That was pretty fun.
Half Worcester for Winchell. Central Park looking for a jolt, and they might have just gotten it. Holbrook and Renaud discussing the shot afterwards. Winchell needs an out here. We saw Gacharna make a nice out on the half Worcester. Now it's John Winchell's chance to match that, essentially. Got the head pin and didn't get the carry he wanted. Applauding himself for putting the ball on the correct pin, the head pin. Unlucky not to get the mix he wanted. Conventional wisdom also to play that shot on the outside, perhaps risking disaster with a curtain. Renaud really wanted to throw that strike ball. It sure looked like it going down, but it just narrowly missed the head pin. 4 horsemen right. Winchell comes back on the head pin. First ball, did he get it all? The 2-pin wobbles and teeters and stands. Renaud spare on strike.
Way to go, bud.
And Winchell spares as well to match. So an unfortunate third box for Winchell, but nothing to mark, and a good fill can't repair. A chance to get back on track here. Now on your left, Bob Whitcomb, and on your right, Mark Smith. Union Street as a whole has been averaging 116 all year. At least the main 5 bowlers have. Holbrook's got a head pin mix. The 8 drops forward and nestles nicely between the 4 and the 7. Smith a good second ball. 2 pins remaining. Central Park 1 as a whole averaging 115. Whitcomb gets a spare. Smith gets a 9. Smith gets 5 to begin. Whitcomb's fill, mixing, 2-pin teeters. He's got a nice 8 fill after that head-pin hit. Whitcomb. .55 and a ball for Whitcomb through 4. You see it, a lot of Union Street working on a mark.
Come on, Eddie, pick me up. Still early, still early.
And a hushed quiet comes over the crowd here at Union Street Lanes. Off camera, all the bowlers and lots of supporters on hand here in Holbrook, Massachusetts. Zappi takes out 6 on the first ball. Woodside, good mix on the head pin, leaving the 4 and the 7. For an 8 fill. Zappi caught on the head pin, a good bid, and the wood comes up short. Woodside collects, and he spares in the 5th. Zappi collects his pin, and he's got a 62 half. Woodside with a chance to possibly match that. Zappi's 6th box. Ends up on the 3-pin. He's got that 4 and 2 split. Woodside spare fill. Taking pins out from behind. He's got an 8 fill. Woodside does just about match that half, bettering it from Zappi by a pin. Zappi hits his object pin, but not a whole lot else, unluckily. Zappi gets a good out. In fact, he's got 9 versus 8. And it's 71 through 6 for each of those 2 bowlers. See already a 28-pin advantage for Union Street Lanes, plus everyone coming up here is on a mark, including Chris Harris on our right side now. Union Street on your right, Central Park Lanes now on your left. 3 fill. Gacharna ends up on the left side, took out the entire left side, in fact, so 6 pins left. Both bowlers need outs here. Harris has 4 pins remaining. 1, 2, 5, 10. Got on the outside of it and gets an 8 out of it. Gacharna scoops the perfect out, in fact.
Nice out, Lou. Throw that ball first now.
And another good third ball by Gacharna to keep his string on track. Still 2 strings to come after this one. You see, this is the first of 3 at the top of your screen. Still plenty to go. Harris crushed it. Strike. Gacharna's got a devious split here. Now let's see where this wood settles up. There's 2 pieces of wood seemingly aimed at the corners, but it depends on whether Gacharna actually can throw a ball that can bridge both. They seem to have settled pretty far apart, so this is not going to be an easy one. Nice red line. Nothing carries. About 10 again. And again, staying above par. Craig Holbrook and Dan Chouinard. Spare fill for Holbrook. He's got on the 2-pin. And adds 2 more to his total. 56 through 4. So still needs another mark to get on that 120s train. And the next 6 boxes, let's say. He got on the head pin, and it ended up just a bit full, unfortunately. Chouinard gets a great mix, and he spares. What a dandy.
Outstanding.
Holbrook gets a good 9 out, and he's got a 65 half. Dan Chouinard a spare, working and a chance to close the gap. Still Union Street Lanes with a decided advantage so far. Holbrook's found the head pin. And he's got triangle number 4. Chouinard visibly frustrated with that spare fill. He's got 2. This game only gets tougher as it goes. Just because the ball's lighter doesn't mean it's easier. Holbrook works out an 8 fill. An 8 box, excuse me. Dan the man turns 4 into 7. 29 ahead for Union Street Lanes. Now 2 bowlers on a spare, John Winchell and Stephen Renaud Jr. John Winchell had the 2nd highest average, highest away average, I should say, with a 121. Quite simply, if you had an away average of 120, you got paid bonus money. That's Dave Godwin 5th, Josh Daly 4th, Dave Barber 3rd, I mentioned Winchell, and then Jeff Surrett out of Woburn, 123 and a half, 124. Four fill versus 9. Let's see what that does to the scores. Closing it up. Got on the outside, Winchell did. He thought he had a good angle on it. Not quite. Renaud. Oh, the wood robbed him. That ball seemed to be headed right for the pin, and it just didn't cooperate. Winchell 9, Renaud 10.
Roll out, Junior. That ain't even right.
Captain Whitcomb trying to rally the troops here for Union Street. Winchell's got a ball working sideways here. He likes for that wood settled, I think. Renaud crushed the pocket and he left the kingpin. You can tell the power because that wood nearly cleared the pin plates. .138, just on the 3 for Winchell. So Renaud another chance here. It's a tiny toothpick when these start to matter. Here it comes at the kingpin. He turns away immediately. These experienced bowlers have a sixth sense of knowing where it's going to go immediately off their hand. Renaud picks up another pin. All right, so 22 ahead for Union Street Lanes. They still have all of those marks working, so this could be an advantage upwards of 30 pins when all is said and done. Whitcomb filling a spare. And that is a 5 fill for him. Mark Smith got the head pin crushed and doesn't get a whole lot of love. I don't think that wood has turned terribly well. Whitcomb outside. Did he get it? That kingpin is being very, very stubborn. It's still wobbling for dear life. I think that darn thing is going to stay standing. Got the pin now. And both bowlers have matching 10s. Again. Head pin, yes, he breaks it up on a full-looking head pin hit, but nonetheless, they trip out. Smith got the head pin. And a 2-1 split. Wood between the 2 and 4. Can he get a ridiculous angle on this 2 pin to possibly have a chance? Whitcomb just missing the 4 pin. Whitcomb picks up 2 pins. Let me see if I can check the score. ace king pin fill early. Just confirming all the scores here. Looks as though I've shortchanged Chris Harris a few pins. Woodside spread eagle. Apologies, folks. The score on your screen are now all correct. 26 pin difference for Union Street Lanes plus the strike fill, working by Chris Harris. Woodside put a good second ball on that spread eagle. He's got at least 8 here. In fact, 9. Zappi gets one more and has a 5. Potentially significant pins. Second ball's coming up from each. Woodside with a good pocket shot, leaving up just the 4-7 for the third ball. Woodside collects his 10. Which could be significant because Zappi does need an out here. He's still got 3 standing. He's got the wood. 9 bucks. Chris Harris on a strike fill.
Just gotta figure it out.
Deadwood on the adjoining lane in the Sunnyside Riverwalk match in progress. Harris got on the head pin. It's thin, but still filling on the strike with every pin dropping. Darn near stole another one. Well, I wouldn't say steal. He put a good ball on that.
All right, bud, go get it.
Spare strike. Spare on strike, I should say. Gacharna leaves 3. Head pin hit. 2-2 split for Gacharna. Harris ends up with a 3-1 split. So 2 good head pin hits and tricky configurations. Gacharna put a good shot on that one, but the 10 didn't cooperate. 3-1 for Harris. Lands basically in the curtain. Lou picks up his 10. Just 2 for Harris.
One game roll.
Oh, the gap creeping back here. It's still 26 ahead for Union Street Lanes. Where it's where it's remained just about all string long so far. This is the first of 3 strings here at these Union Street Lanes. Here in Holbrook, Massachusetts, 4 great playoff matches in progress, and all are Spread Eagle Productions team. Working hard to bring you all the matches. We hope you'll enjoy them all on our channel here, Spread Eagle Productions. Against Chouinard's 3-1 split, Holbrook, 9, maybe 10. Nope, 5 and dime it is. Chouinard chisels the pin in and takes out 2 more. Holbrook just narrowly shading wide of the 5 pin. Holbrook gets 10, a good out. Chouinard left a diamond on a good head pin hit. Just rechecking my scores are correct. There we are. Chouinard on the road averaged 113. Craig Holbrook, likewise. Ooh, boy. Now there's a discussion about what the difficulty is, whether it's the pin or the spot, and it looks as though the 5 spot, they're saying the 5 spot in particular seems to be tough to have a pin sit down flat on top of. It looks as though we have an issue with the end plates.
Pretty great apartment building.
So lots of marks in the early going for Union Street Lanes, which has been creating the early advantage.
Oh, that's the playoffs. John Wick? No. You never seen John Wick? Never seen he's a hitman and whatnot, an assassin. He used to be for the Russian mob. You know, once you're in, you don't get out. He did something. He tells her to get out. That his dead wife just bought him.
That was perfect.
Your ball back? Oh, yeah, no, look it up with John Wick.
Oh, the plate, I think, is one out of spots. Yeah.
How many is it right now? About 100?
We're doing good. I'm going like crap.
This will probably not make the broadcast.
No, I would hope it doesn't. I mean, they break it. It's ridiculous. It's about 15 times.
Are you familiar with that? You've just been watching all day? Like, yeah, I noticed that 5 spot being really tricky.
And I get another one now.
Yeah. It's the spot they're saying, so that's why he's not just like taking a pin out. It's really got to do something with that. I guess it's the release tube based on the looks of things.
Trying to just get back. No. I got some days here and there. But we got a lot of softball.
You home by the Celtics game?
Oh, the radio ain't bad. They get excited. You guys are there, right? No, one more game.
No, outside. They get set up outside. That's free.
Oh, so yeah. That'd be a great time. It's almost like there'll be a lot of people out there.
Yeah. There was a ton of people out there.
I bet. Absolutely. That's a great idea.
They had it at the Staples. Another fucking politician's place in Boston. They have a huge outdoor. Set up a big
Looks as though we fixed out the technical issues. The 5-pin is now cooperating. There was discussion about what the issue was. It looked as though it was the release tube of some sort that was not causing the 5-pin to fall flat. And despite Holbrook getting iced, he gets a 9-drop anyway. Holbrook with a chance to put the first mark on the board for anyone. This late going, he's got it. Chouinard gets one more and collects an 8-box.
Yeah, you just gotta scan it and stuff. Oh, wow.
And that brings up Stephen Renaud Jr. and John Winchell. Renaud did wash out 6 to begin. Winchell doesn't quite get the 9-pin in the back, so he's got a 4-2 washout here. Renaud thought he had that, blew a pin sideways, and ends up with the 6-10. Winchell mixing in the head pin. Ooh, that looks pretty as it hit. Not collecting the 7. Winchell picks up a pin. The difference now 28 for Union Street Lanes. 3 strings, total pinfall. Again, my name is Greg Gouillart, and all our Spread Eagle Productions commentators, Paul Grant, Justin Scally, Bob Lee, our executive producer, all working to bring you these 4 single elimination matches.
Candlepin's all about rhythm.
That's tough. I mean, I guess the only thing to be said is it's icing you both equally, but yeah, it ain't fun, that's for sure. Come on, 5-pin. Don't get... Renaud gets a 5 drop. Sorry about that, folks. I was investigating a technical delay of my own. Renaud gets a 9 box. And Winchell an 8. It's tough. There was another technical malfunction before that 8th box. As one bowler put it just now, it's a game of rhythm, and it's tough when these mechanical malfunctions occur because it just throws everyone off. On another hand, sure, it's affecting them both equally because both bowlers have to stop. So just because it happens with Union Street Lanes' lane doesn't necessarily impact them disproportionately, but still, it's tough when that occurs. Smith gets a 7 drop. That said, sincere thanks to the team here at Union Street Lanes in Holbrook, Massachusetts, who are opening their doors early, no less, so that we can have this great finale to the regular season. Whitcomb collects the 10 and has a 90 string working. Smith gets a 2-fill. Whitcomb with a huge headpin mix, and he's got the 610 with wood right in front of it. Smith narrowly shades by the headpin, and now has a devious configuration to work against for the out. Whitcomb spare try, perfect. And brings up 100 plus in the 8th box. That's a good out by Mark Smith to bring him up to a 9 box. He's got a 75 string working through those 8. Last boxes in this string, of course, a 3-string match, so while the dynamics of it being 9th and 10th could affect the marks and their fills, it's one big long-distance race, not to mention 2 more happening later today. Of course, we look forward to broadcasting all these matches for you on Spread Eagle Productions, right here on YouTube. Again, please, if you haven't had the chance yet, please like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell to be in the know about all our future videos. We greatly appreciate your support just by watching either way. Zappi got on the head pin and gets a huge mix. Woodside dropped 6. 1, 2, 4, 9. Zappi collects. John Zappi, the leadoff bowler, is a good string working. Woodside checks his pin and brings up his 100. Zappi Sparefield hit the head pin and ends up with 5. Woodside, who has been generally accurate, getting very frustrated as head pin hits aren't generating more action on the pins. A good second ball and a chance still to get at least 9. Zappi gets 8 on his 2-1 split. Woodside likewise. 108 for each bowler. Chris Harris, Gacharna. Chris Harris with another mark, could go 120 something. His season average is 118. Got on the head pin and tailed in nicely, but the kingpin, despite the tap from behind on the wood, didn't drop. Gacharna's got 6. And spare. Gacharna matches.
Come on, Lou, before we fall over.
Five fill for Harris, who got a pocket shot and gets a disappointing lead. Did Gacharna get them all on a spare fill? Wow. 9 fill, still very good. And a chance for another.
Play the pin.
In the final box. That's well pinned by Harris, and it's 8, 9, or 10. Wood was not frozen for Gacharna. There you see these bowlers' final scores. Gacharna 108, Chris Harris 117, and that brings up Chouinard and Holbrook.
Come on, Danny, let's go.
Craig Holbrook's average 116. Dan Chouinard's season average 114. Holbrook on a spare. Holbrook gets a 6 fill. Two, 9, 10, just on the 2. Chouinard's got a nasty 2-2 split. Grabs the stick on the second ball, still a chance to get 9. Holbrook does very well to collect a 10 on that. Those 3 lonely islands. Chouinard a good third ball of his own, and he gets a 9 box. A steady climb upward for Union Street Lanes. Holbrook nearly thunderously put a strike on top of all that. Chouinard got a good mix. Almost. Then the 5-9-10 ended up standing.
Huh? Where?
Ooh! Holbrook a whisker away from the 5-pin on the right side. Holbrook ends up with 117. And Dan Chouinard, 94. The penultimate bowlers now. Two good averages coming up. Stephen Renaud Jr. averaging 118 all regular season long. John Winchell, 121. Proud tradition this now Friday Night Pro League. Apparently used to be on Sundays. 35-week regular season, 33 scheduled matches, including 2 position night matches as well, to determine the seedings. And today's matches: Woburn versus Central 3, Academy 2, Academy 3, Riverwalk, Sunnyside 2, and this night here, Central 1 against Union Street. Commiserations also to Metro Bowl, seed number 9, Academy 1, seed number 10, Central 2, seed 11, and Sunnyside 1, seed 12, who did not make the playoff cut this year. Matching 8 boxes.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Winchell really wants to get something going here. Didn't miss that head pin by much. He's got a Cagliari anyway. 2-4-10 for Renaud Jr. Winchell hit his object and the wood goes in front. Renaud narrowly misses the spare on his end. $113 for Renaud Jr. See Winchell's body language as he walks off with 91. Nonetheless, Union Street Lanes off to a decided advantage, and it's about to be bolstered by whatever Whitcomb can put on top of this fill. Steven, you're totally good, just don't hit this. Whitcomb crushed the pocket. And he's got a 9 fill and a chance at another. Smith washed out 8, and he's got the 1-2 to look at. Ten pin with some perilous wood in front here. Haven't had a lot of tricky wood puzzles, but this definitely qualifies because that front one could deflect it. He goes right at the pin and gets it anyway. And Mark matches the mark in a manner of speaking. I beg your pardon. Look at the string Bob Whitcomb is heating up on. 119 plus this through 9. He got a good mix on the 3-pin. Woods coming back for the head pin. I believe that is a 5 fill for Whitcomb. Smith, an 8 fill. Oh, a lot of twigs tumble on that shot. Don't give up on that, Mark. That Woods moving across. No, just tapped the 10 pin a little too light. And Bob Whitcomb concludes a 134. Mark Smith, good work on his end, 103. I'll check these scores to confirm their final. I should have known better than to interrupt the score checking like that. We'll try and confirm the scores later. Meanwhile, here we are in the second of 3 strings.
40 pins, I guess. This box right here. This is what matters right here. Come on. Come on, leave it open.
Good outs for both bowlers, and it's 9 versus 10 to begin. So remember, this is 3 strings total pinfall, so keep an eye on the total score on your screen. Only that one matters to decide who goes on in this single elimination format in this opening round of 8. That's 1, 2, 7, 8 for John Zappi.
Yeah, that was my blue Skittles.
Okay, I see what that was.
Blue Skittles.
Zappi just scoots by the head pin.
We're gonna need you.
Woodside gets 8, so a chance for Zappi to collect a few more pins. And he does, and he gets a 9. Let me see if I can check now.
I got 22 better balls than that. No, I know. This side, my side, wood, bad wood.
Come on, Luke.
Gacharna starts on the head pin. He's got a 3-1 split. Ooh, Harris ends up with a dreaded W after a good head pin hit. Oh, Gacharna with a huge shot.
Shots. That's all.
Starting on the board. That's a good second ball. Got the object pin, got the mix. There's Woods still there. Is that 4 going to drop, in fact? Yes, it is. All right. So on a lead that so easily could be less, Chris Harris has a chance to get at least 8. And he does collect 1 more pin and escapes with a 9. Now Gacharna with a chance to close this gap. Gacharna's fill is 7. Harris's first ball is a big one, leaving just the 6. Blue scoots into the 10 pin. Oh! By the hair of his chinny chin chin, Chris Harris gets the spare. Gacharna gets 9. That's where we stand. Scores after one string should now be correct. Chouinard gets a head pin hit and only gets 6. Holbrook didn't get a lot of help from the sidewall there. Chouinard does well to collect 2 more on the second ball. Holbrook comes right back in, leaving triangle number 4, the 4, 7, and 8. Holbrook has been heating up in his recent matches. In the last 4 weeks, 362, 373, 369, and 381.
It's season 4, man.
Holbrook. 5 down, 5 to go. Chouinard has these called full Worcester now, so he's got a tricky out coming up. These pins matter here. Third ball. Got the head pin. You know, that wasn't a bad third ball at all, and 4 turns into 7. Holbrook ends up with 9, so the damage is limited as a result. Now Stephen Renaud Jr. on your right and John Winchell on your left. Half Worcester.